morning, I looked on the website, I couldn't find it. What are the regulations about clear cutting in the town of Rome Lake?
If we're talking about residential areas,
Beg your pardon?
if we're talking about residential areas as opposed to agricultural, in residential areas, the person's supposed to contact the town and explain why the tree should be cut. For example, if it's in poor health or a danger or something, then one of the inspectors will sign off on the activity. So clear cutting in of itself is not allowed unless it's part of a commercial operation, but that's more in agricultural areas.
Can you explain to me what happened on Mill Road? There's about almost 2 acres of clear cutting on the left-hand side of that big project there.
Well, you just said the words yourself. There's a housing project that was approved there, and those trees were cut to make room for the building of the project.
3 years ago, they were refused a permit there. Somebody tried to do that, and the town refused. Why did they accept this time?
Well, the project was presented, was approved by the council. It was conforming on pretty much every level, if I recall correctly. So yes, the most recent version that was proposed was approved.
If I can purchase a lot and build 5 houses on it in a residential area, I could clear cut.
The granting of a permit to build presupposes that you'll have to cut the trees to make room to build.
Thank you.
Il y a d'autres questions?
If you'd be so kind, if we could go back to 31211, okay? C'est la terrasse 4. Okay.
Repeat that, please.
Sorry, it's right at the top of the page. It's the one on terrasse 4, 31211. Thanks. Yeah, if Councilor Patterson would be so kind as to just quickly run through that again, because there were a lot of numbers going very quickly, and if you'd be kind enough to explain the detail of that.
Well, she wants the information that we read
Yeah.
from the council.
So,
Yeah.
oh, you don't, okay. So the Athena Construction submitted their first invoice on the project. So the amount that we authorized was $154,883.94, taxes included. This amount includes a 10% retenue, withholding. Of this, 2 change directives, so 2 amounts that were not in the contract are included in this amount. So of the $154,883.94, there is the amount of $25,853.85 was for the branchement of the services. Originally, we were going to do them in-house. When the contractor was ready to have them built, we were either busy with snow removal or something else, so we had the contractor do it. And the stabilization, there was, when they did some analysis, we had not taken into consideration possible issues with the soil, so they had to, if you drove by, you saw that they had to solidify the site in terms of the soil. So that comes to a total of $154,883.94.
Okay, so if I'm understanding you, then we paid more than we had budgeted for this project, is that correct?
Well, the project's
We had
not
to pay
finished.
more?
So
Right.
the original quote, I believe, was 700 and something thousand. So we pay in installments. Once there's certain certain aspects get achieved, the contractor is allowed to submit an invoice. So this is the first invoice of many more to come. So at the stages where they're at, there are 2 items, which I mentioned to you earlier, that were not prévu in the
Planned,
Yeah,
contract.
not
So, yeah.
planned, right.
So over the total project, we don't know the total, but so far we have $36,640.50 that was not projected.
But we had to spend that money because you said the employees of the town weren't available to do that job, did I understand you correctly?
Yeah, so originally we chose, when there's certain parts of projects that sometimes we do in-house. And so originally we had thought that we would do the branchement, the bringing of water and sewer, but we made a strategic decision, the administrator made a strategic decision to have the contractor do it while they were there. So there's a cost there. So the net is not, because we would have had, there's parts in there, there's labor.
Half of the amount
Half of the amount is parts that we would have paid anyways, but they wouldn't have been paid by Athena Construction. We would have bought them ourselves.
Okay.
So there's about maybe 12,000 in labor and 12,000 in parts for, but the parts we would have had anyway. So the net of it there is 12,000 that we hadn't planned on.
Right, and amounts are always relative, and 12,000 sounds like a small amount on a budget of, almost 20 million. But, 12,000 from taxpayers, right? We all know how hard everybody has to work to clear that amount. It just seems odd that we wound up having to spend it if we knew it wasn't an emergency expense, we knew this was going on.
No, we had to do it because if we don't time it correctly with the contractor,
Right.
there's delays. So there are some objectives. So if we tell the contractor, we'll wait 2 weeks, we'll come and run the water and sewer, well, that pushes everything back. There could be other costs there. So strategically, the council was at ease with that decision. And overall, we have to look at the cost overrun overall on the project. Maybe we'll save in certain other aspects. It's too early to decide, in my opinion, where we're going with this project. On a project that's almost $800,000, we're talking 12,000 there. The soil, there was nothing that could be predicted. So
No, the soil, no, but it just sounds as if with maybe a little more refinement to the strategic planning of these projects and how they mesh with the availability of our resources, that we might be able to economize in the future.
okay.
You shrugged your shoulders, is that a yes or a no?
Well,
I'm
no,
not sure.
I'm not going to debate it with you tonight. You're emitting an opinion. As I said personally, I'll judge the performance of the administration when the project is built and what is the total cost overrun. We do budget for cost overruns. There are often. I agree with you that we have to be mindful and keep them to a minimum. I agree with you for sure. But on this particular project, on one invoice, I'm not ready to say that the administration didn't act prudently in that aspect.
No, I'm not ready to say that either. I'm just saying I hope we would be mindful. Okay.
We're always very mindful.
Excellent.
Yes.
Most reassuring, thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any other questions? Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions?
Bonsoir. En fait, je ne sais pas si j'ai bien compris.
Oui, excusez-moi, il faudrait mentionner votre nom à l'enregistrement.
Oh, excusez-moi. Mon nom, c'est Léane Roux. C'est bon?
Oui.
Donc, j'avais juste une question par rapport au 272 rue Bonneville. Vous aviez, je pense, expliqué qu'un 10% de la valeur était ce qui était chargé pour le lotissement. Est-ce que vous aviez expliqué qu'il y avait un choix entre un 10% de la valeur ou une autre option? Je n'ai pas bien compris c'était quoi cette autre option.
C'est la ville qui décide parce que dans notre règlement, on a le choix. Donc, dans certains dossiers, c'est plutôt rare dans les dernières années, mais si par exemple le terrain était près d'un parc municipal et on voudrait agrandir un parc ou quoi que ce soit, mais dans le cas du dossier mentionné sur Bonneville, il y a deux enjeux qu'on a nommés, c'était d'utiliser la même entrée et l'autre c'était de garder le couvert végétal. Et par la suite, dans l'autre résolution, on a décidé de choisir le 10% en valeur en argent.
Et je veux rajouter quelque chose là-dessus. Le 10% en valeur
Patrick,
en
ton
argent
micro,
va dans un
on t'entend
fonds.
pas, ton micro.
Le 10% en argent va dans un fonds pour ce qui est des parcs. Alors, des fois, on pige là-dedans pour finir ou couvrir des coûts pour la construction des toilettes qui vont aux terrasses grandes. Donc, c'est toujours des frais pour faire de parcs, soit en argent, soit en terrain.
Est-ce que vous représentez le propriétaire? Ou?
Oui, exact.
OK. Puis le propriétaire ne s'attendait pas à payer 10
Non, c'est vraiment...
Ok.
On savait que c'était 10 Ma question, c'est juste parce que j'ai cru comprendre qu'il y avait une autre option.
Ah, OK, je comprends.
Et je voulais juste savoir c'était quoi l'autre option.
D'accord.
Mais c'est toujours la décision, c'est avec la ville finale, oui.
Oui.
C'est la ville qui décide.
Oui. Je n'essaie pas de changer la décision. Je voulais juste savoir, je savais pas qu'il y avait deux possibilités. C'est juste ça
D'accord.
que je me
Vous avez
demande.
compris le deuxième?
Mais c'est ça, je suis pas sûre d'avoir compris c'est quoi l'autre possibilité encore.
L'autre possibilité, c'est du terrain ou de l'argent.
Ah, d'accord.
On prend 10 de terrain.
Ça reste bien.
Pas sûr qu'il y a raison.
C'est moins intéressant pour toi, je pense.
C'est bon, parfait, merci. J'ai pas de questions.
Merci.
Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions?